But now we just wait for these lights, all of them on the grid.
There's another bike coming out of the pits.
There's still a bike coming down the main straight. I don't know if that's Nigel Everts there at the back of the grid.
Yeah, that, like I said, the indomitable Nigel Everts, our very own MotoGP rider.
He's a little bit late to the MotoGP grid, but here he is. They sound the whistle, which means it's ready to go. And we'll see the lights go on. And we'll just wait one moment as they rev up those Super Twin Cup 650s and Super Sport 300s. No lights on just yet. This might be a quick start for all of them. 5-second board up. The lights are on. The lights are out, and away they go. Lots of launching off the line, and I believe it is Jamie Hall that gets the whole shot into turn one. And we'll see if all of them clear as they make their way through Holzhoek.
Well, it looks like Jamie Hall got the whole shot there on Paul Medell. Paul Medell sitting right there with him. Lance Jonas hooked up in third. And Adrian Solomon on the little 400 sits up there in P4. Now Medell up on the inside of Jamie Hall. Paul Medell has got oodles of experience coming out of Castrol Corner. Takes the lead. And a man that's, I reckon, close to 60 years of age as well, Paul Medell. I tend to forget we're all the same age. So going down there and coming out of turn number 3, make their way up the Tigerberg straight towards Sarl Sweep. And Medell trying to get away from Jamie Hall, but Jamie Hall's not going to let him go. He's going to try and hang on to him, maybe get a bit of a draft now with the wind in their back. They'll be hunting, but have a look at Medell crack on the pace as he pulls away there. Medell there, Jamie Hall, Lance Jonas, Adrian Solomon. It looks like Max Bunton up there in P5 as they career down into turn number 5. A real crack, like we said, Jordan, it's going to be a crackerjack race, and it's from the get-go they are there.
And I'll be watching the 300s this time around, and we saw Adrian Solomon almost up on the back end of Lance Jonas and Jamie Hall. That 400's got so much power, even though it's in a smaller class, you'd say, as they make their way across the line now. And there's Max Munton on that KTM as they rocket down into Holzhoek once again. But Paul Medell will hold out, and I'm pretty sure Jamie Hall and Lance Jonas are going to be a bit antsy to try and catch back up.
Well, having a look there now, it's still Paul Medell leading out, and having a look at Jamie Hall and Lance Jonas, creeping a bit closer. A great shot there from the 400 of Adrian Solomon in P4. Max Bunton's in there as well. Then we've got Abdul Esak. He's on the Suzuki SV650. He's in there, followed by Andre Symes, and Shannon Thompson is in there as well. Nice to see. And these are guys back in the day that were Breakfast Club riders, and here they're now in this class. I must say that the Super Twin Cup and the Super Sport 300 class is a very exciting class and very economically friendly in terms of racing. It's not a big layout in terms of the motorcycles and the tyres, etc. The BATT tyres, I've had mixed emotions coming out of that one, but it seems like the guys are getting used to the tyre. It's a new tyre. It's got a different form of grip. It almost reminds me of the old Pirelli Phantoms where you feel the bike's going to leave you and then it bites. And this is the feedback I'm getting back from the riders.
Yeah, but it's going to be constant feedback for the rest of the season, especially in inclement weather conditions. But look at Adrian Solomon sitting on the tail end there of Lance Jonas on that MT-07. Well, watch. This is the prime position for Adrian Solomon sitting in the draft. They'll make their way into turn 1 once again, but Adrian Solomon leading that 300 class as they come into Holzhoek once again, and will followed there by Abdul Isak and Max Munton, the second rider of the 300s class, and with that little group of 3, Andre Symes.
Munton being a bit of a meat in a sandwich, but going into Castrol Corner, Paul Medell leading out from Jamie Hall, but have a look at Adrian Solomon up there on the back of Lance Jonas. Adrian is hanging in there, and Lance, I think, thinks it's a 650, not knowing it's a little 400 quacker screaming right up his back door there. So he's going to have to watch his P's and Q's now as they come out of Interceptor Corner, make their way now up the Tigerberg straightaway up towards Sarl Sweep. And have a look there. Now coming up behind them now is Isak, Munton and Andre Symes. And I think Symes is still not past Bunton. So Max Bunton still holding out there on Andre Symes. Now with the Shannon Thompson, Raymond Alexander, Mitch Robinson, Abby Boston, Alma Mostert and Ethan Dina all working their way through as we make our way down towards turn number 5, Pertamina Fast Strong Corner. And having a look there, it's still Paul Medell leading out, but looks like Jamie Hall is creeping a little bit closer. So Paul had that magnificent lead. Jamie Hall not letting him go. Jamie on the 650 coming up the main straight here under the Castrol Bridge. And Line Property Management make their way down towards turn number 1. But down in 5, there's still Max Bunton and Solomon Isaac and Symes all embroiled in that little scuffle now as they make their way up the main straight.
And we'll watch this little gaggle. Shandon Thompson in there, Raymond Alexander, Mitch Robertson, Abigail Bosson, and Almi Mostert coming under the bridge and across the line once again to start another lap. That's a big gaggle going into 1 at the moment, and it's led out there by Shandon Thompson as they make their way through a little bit wide, and on the tail end is Raymond Alexander. He's going to try and creep past if he can. He'll try and go around the outside, and he does. And then he'll stick it in and on the knee into Castrol Corner, and here comes Abigail Bosson just behind Shandon Thompson there as they make their way out of Castrol Corner and through the kink and into Interceptor Corner.
Yeah, nice. Nice to have a couple of ladies there going down into Interceptor Corner there. Raymond Alexander leading out there. Abby Bosson trying to get in. But we go down to turn number 5 where the leaders are. And Paul Medell hooking it into turn 5 there. Jamie Hall trying to hang in there with him. And there's about less than half a second. There's about 600ths of a second between them now as they exit Pertamina Fostron Corner, come up towards the City of Cape Town, Castrol and Line Property Management Bridge here up towards us. Medell still leads out. And Jamie Hall with Lance Jonas and still Adrian Solomon. Then we have a look. There comes Abdul Esak. He's leading out there on Andre Symes. Symes trying to creep a bit closer. They're pulling away from Max Bunton. But Bunton only on a 400.
Yeah, you got to give the kid a little bit of slack because of the different classes. We see Adrian Solomon fighting up there with Lance Jonas, but that's a different kind of machine that is as we watch this gaggle come to the line once again, led out there by Shandon Thompson, ahead of Raymond Alexander, Almi Mostert, Abigail Boston, and Mitch Robertson dropped 2 places in their 300 class. Obviously, we got the 650s coming through there between them. And Shandon Thompson getting swarmed by Raymond Alexander this time around. Raymond will try and go around that corner, around the outside once again, but he doesn't manage it as they make their way into Castrol Corner. He'll dive and try and take the outside line through 5. Will he stick it in front of Shandon Thompson? And he does, and he'll hold it out as here comes Abigail Boston as well on the inside to try and take that position from Raymond Alexander. But the gaggle keeps chopping and changing as they make their way into Interceptor Corner. And look at that, they all in one good line at the moment, but by the end of this lap and into 5, I'm sure they'll be diving on each other once again.
Well, you have a look on screen there at the moment. Raymond Alexander looked like Abigail Boston slipped up on the inside there, and she's going to get a draft down Raymond as they go down the back. Raymond Alexander and Abigail Boston sitting there, and going down into turn number 1 is the leaders, and it's the coming through the Andre Symes and Shandon Thompson work their way through. So go down back into coming out of turn number 5. And I think it could be Abigail Bosson that's got the up on Raymond Alexander. We must have a look. See, it's the 51 machine. Abby Bosson has got Raymond Alexander. But Raymond's going to take he's a late breaker going down into turn number 1. Raymond up on the inside. Abby wants to come back at him, but this is Raymond's strong suit here because he's a short circuit rider, and this is part of the short circuit. And Abby's also a short circuit rider, so they will start carving each other up coming into Castrol Corner.
And this is a good battle out the front as they make their way into Castrol Corner. But we watch them go through Castrol, and Abigail Bosson leading out that little gaggle at the moment. It's the perfect opportunity for her to pull ahead as much as she can, even if she has to just sit with Raymond Alexander. But we watch now as they make their way through Interceptor Corner. And we see them go through Interceptor, and it's almost 2 by 2. Noah and the Ark as they go through, but now we look to 1. And
okay,
here come
so
the leaders.
We got Paul Medell there, being followed by Jamie Hall. There, Jamie Hall coming through. And there's a bit of a squabble there. Going through there is Lance Jonas. And is there still Adrian Solomon following him there as he goes through? Right, we're having a look-see to what's coming through now. It'll probably be Abdul Esak ahead of Andre Symes. And Max Bunton will come through as well.
Yeah, so that little gaggle spread up between Abdul Isak, Andre Symes, and Max Munton. But we see, look at the gap now that Abigail Boston's led ahead of Raymond Alexander. Raymond Alexander not up to pace, so maybe he had an issue in turn 5. But there we see Raymond Alexander fighting once again with Shandon Thompson. Almi Mostert ahead of Mitch Robinson and Ethan Diener there as they make their way through Hole's Hook. But Abigail Boston pulling away. This is the perfect opportunity for her, like I said. But now we jump to the leaders going into 5 once again, Francois.
Yeah, what is noticeable is Abby, I think, is riding the Yamaha, if I'm not mistaken, the 300 Yamaha. And I think that Raymond Alexander, if I'm not mistaken, is on the Ninja 400. So the Yamaha and Abby are the perfect match in this suit. Coming through here now into a screen out of 5 there is Jonas and Solomon with Isak following. So they go towards down the line. Paul Medell still leading out. Jamie Hall hanging on to second place. And here comes Lance Jonas ahead of Adrian Solomon. And that's a 650 versus a 400. And it's really a titanic struggle. And I got to say, young Bones, as we call him, Adrian Solomon, putting in a magic display sitting there with Lance.
Yeah, I think it's better for him to just sit there and draft. But we watch now into 5 once again. Look at this little battle. Abigail Boston sitting there with, that is Raymond Alexander once again battling it out as they exit the corner and lead down. Oh, sorry, no, I lie. There's Abby ahead, pulling away. There's Raymond Alexander, and that will be Ethan Diener coming from the back of that little squabble. He makes his way to the front there between himself and Raymond Alexander. And here comes Almi Mostert as well, trying to cut in between the two. Using all that girl power to try and get ahead of these boys. But look, there's Abby once again. Look at the gap that she's leading out at the moment. It's about it's about 2 seconds adrift between them.
Well, you know, I reckon that Abby might have been held up because the way she's pulling, she's a lot quicker. Looking at her lap times, she's really going up there now. She's almost, 2 seconds quicker than the pack behind her. So she's pulling away quite considerably. Going into the lead there now is Paul Medell into turn 1 on screen. Followed here by Jamie Hall. Then a bit further back there's a bit of a slow marker. I think that could be Petty Hill, I'm not sure. Is Lance Jonas and Adrian Solomon. But yeah, I thought Adrian will be quicker here through Castrol Corner, but unfortunately not. But now he looks up on the inside of Petty Hill. Adrian trying to pull a move there and slides right up behind Lance going into 2. There you see how close they are as they get past Petty Hill. Running a bit wide there. But look at Solomon. He's on the back there of Lance Jonas. Lance is a wily old character. He will make the bike as wide as possible.
Yeah, but Adrian Solomon is not going to give up on that 400. And they'll go in through Interceptor. But here we see Abigail Boston come through on her own at the moment. Sitting a good 6 seconds ahead of Shandon Thompson, who's now the lead of that little battle. Followed there by Almi Mostert. Raymond Alexander fighting there with Ethan Diener as they go into Hole's Hook. But we'll watch now as they exit onto the Joubert Straight. We watch for the leader to come through.
The leader, Paul Medell, making his way to the flag. He crosses the line. There's a slow marker coming through. We wait here for Jamie Hall. Now, what is Adrian Solomon going to do? Can he, Lance Jonas, hold him off? No, Solomon not close enough to drop, but a brilliant ride. First in the 400 class and sticking there with the 650. Lance now looks over his shoulder and sees, but it's Adrian. He's saying, wow, what a ride. Okay, so we wait now for the group there of Abdul Isak. Isak over the line there. Now, Andre Symes will be there behind him. Symes crosses the line. Here comes Max Munton. Munton over the line. Now we're going to look for Abby Boston. Abigail did a sterling job. I think if she wasn't held up in those first 4 laps, she would have been a lot higher up. Nigel Everts, he's a lap down. He crosses the line. Abby now coming out of, should be coming out of turn 5. There she comes, out of turn 5, up towards us. A great ride by the young lady. Abby doing a sterling job, and she's a little bit of a veteran already. Only, it's like 18 years old, but she's a veteran already. Been racing for very long. Raymond Alexander is now going to be fighting here, and is getting taken here by Shannon Thompson. Shannon over the line, Raymond, Almi Mostert, and Mitch Robinson. Ethan Diener And I don't see Ashton Haydeman. Oh, is he still coming out of turn 5? Ashton a little bit further back.
Now it was good racing between both classes, and especially for Adrian Solomon. I'm really impressed to see that 400 fighting on the back of Lance Jonas. But here comes Ashton Heidemann crossing the line on that brightly colored number 72. That KTM RC390, he'll cross the line. But Paul Medell with a 125.581 on lap 5. He was just pursuing that lead, and he held it and kept it the whole way through. What a brilliant race that was.
All right, so we have the Caltron Formula Supercars up next. You'll see them out on the circuit now. The wind has picked up a little bit. You can see it's a little, you can say maybe a bit darker to a degree. I don't know. Maybe it's my eyes deceiving me. Still fine out there. So northwesterly wind, as I was saying earlier on. Not a weatherman, well, not a weatherman, but oh well. It's okay to talk about it because I'm Cape Townian. But Frankie, yeah, we were going to have the fine cars join them, but I have heard through the grapevine that we're not going to have any fine cars today. They've all decided to withdraw. It looked like a healthy field of cars, but I think they wanted to play it safe today.
Yes, hello everybody. Frankie Ennis, Mike's side, and first time on the mic for today, and I'll be joining Byron for the Caltron Formula